Hello everybody and welcome back to another movie news video. My name is Joker and today we're talking about the Hall H panel from this year's Comic-Con and what a blessing it was. Wow. Wow. Absolutely insane what we have coming in Phase 4. Just a whole line of stuff that we got coming out, and it's going to be absolutely amazing from here until 2021. But before we get into any of that stuff, we have one really important thing to talk about, and it was brought up during the beginning of the panel, and that is that Avengers Endgame is now the highest grossing film of all time. Let's go. I said it would happen. Me, the whole time. Oh, I'm so happy. It beat it right now. It's sitting at $2.789 billion. Avatar sitting at 2.788. And it's probably going to keep on rolling probably throughout Monday now that it's been brought up and hyped up again at San Diego Comic-Con. So everyone that went is probably going to go see it again because of that. So we're probably going to be looking at 2.79 as the final total for Avengers Endgame. What an amazing run. And it comes out on digital here in a few days and it's going to come out on Blu-ray next month. Super hyped for it. So happy that this is now the highest grossing film of all time. I called it, and now we can stop talking about it, I promise. But this year at Hall H, they gave us 16 different announcements. Absolutely outrageous. They got a lot of Disney Plus stuff and a lot of movies coming out, so let's get down with this and just start at the top and work our way down and talk about what we've got coming. So some of the things we already kind of knew about. We knew that there were going to be some TV shows for the Disney Plus streaming service for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we're getting. The first one that everyone knew about was The Falcon and Winter Soldier, coming fall for launch in this November 2020. We're going to get that show along with Disney Plus from the launch, bringing back Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan for both The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, taking place after Avengers Endgame. Super excited to see where that goes now that Anthony Mackie has the shield that Captain America gave him at the end of Endgame. It's just, the possibilities are endless, but it just keeps on going from there. Spring of 2021, we're going to get a Loki TV show with Tom Hiddleston reprising his role as Loki, and this is taking place if you remember in Endgame, when they go back in time to get all of the Infinity Stones, Loki ends up getting the Tesseract and escaping after they go back in time right in the first Avengers movie. That's when that's taking place. So this story is going to take place talking about all the adventures that Loki goes on after he gets the Tesseract, once he gets it from that altercation that happens during their time going back. That's really confusing, but if you know the movie, you know what I'm talking about, and just seeing what he's going to be doing with the Tesseract, who knows? It's going to be a bunch of mayhem. We all know that. Also coming in spring of 2021 was another one that we knew about, and I'm really excited for, and it actually got a little different, which is Wanda Vision, so spring 2021 again. This takes place after Avengers Endgame, and this is why I'm confused about that, because Vision was cut. He was done. He did not come back with everyone else in the end of Endgame. It was just, he was gone from the start. However, this is going to have Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany back to play Wanda and Vision, taking place after Endgame. And I mean, you know, like Scarlet Witch is literally one of the strongest characters in the MCU, so I would not be surprised if they were able to bring her back. But just to add some more interesting things to the loop, Teyonah Parris is coming in to play Monica Rambeau, the daughter of Maria Rambeau. If you remember Maria, we met her in Captain Marvel. She was the best friend of Carol Danvers, and her daughter is now going to be all grown up and apparently working with Vision and Scarlet Witch. And don't know how that's going to work, but you know, I'm always willing to figure that out for myself. That's going to be something really interesting, and I wonder how her character is going to play in with the rest of the MCU. That I really want to know. But we're still not done with Disney Plus shows. For fall of 2021, we've got Hawkeye with Jeremy Renner coming back. We all love Jeremy Renner. He's hilarious. His portrayal of Hawkeye is honestly amazing. And to make things more fun about the Hawkeye show, they're bringing in the character Kate Bishop. She's known as a member of the Young Avengers in the comics, and it's going to be interesting because it's not his daughter. So I'm wondering what's going to happen between that, because if we notice in the beginning of Avengers Endgame, Hawkeye is training his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow before the snap happens. So I'm wondering what the whole thing's going to include there, if his daughter's going to be involved or not, or if his daughter's going to technically become a version of Kate Bishop, who knows. And then the final show that was announced, this is a little bit of a different one. This is for summer of 2021, and it's Marvel's What If. Now, this is supposed to be like an animated series, I believe, with Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. And what If series is, it's literally a series of what ifs for the Marvel Universe. Like, the most prominent one that I've seen come up is what if Spider-Man was like a murderer, or if Spider-Man was a serial killer. So they take normal superheroes that we know from the Marvel Universe and just drastically change them to be like, what if, you know, Like I just said, what if Spider-Man was a serial killer? What if Wolverine didn't have his powers? Stuff like that, and it's just differences in the storyline as it goes. There's just a lot of room open. There's a lot of room for interpretation with that show, and honestly, the possibilities are limitless for what you want to do. You'd be like, what if Iron Man wasn't Iron? What if Iron Man was Captain America? What if Iron Man was broke and didn't have any money? Stuff like that. The possibilities are limitless, and the show could go on for literally ever. And with that, that ends all of the shows coming to the Disney Plus streaming service starting in November. It's going to be amazing. But now we're going to move into the Marvel Studio movies that I know we've all been waiting for. So the first one we have coming out, and we've all been waiting for this one for quite some time, is Black Widow. Black Widow is going to be the first movie of Phase 4. It is going to be a prequel, I believe, also set in the 90s or before that. It comes out May 1st of 2020 and is actually going to involve the Taskmaster as the main villain. Taskmaster is ridiculous. He knows every move that your opponent's ever going to make, so like you can never beat him except for Deadpool in the comics, really. But I mean, comics can be rewritten all the time, but Taskmaster, I think, is going to be an insanely formidable opponent for Black Widow in this movie. That is going to be really awesome. And there's also talks that there was a trailer and some footage that was shown at Hall H that was not released to the public as of yet. And a lot of people were tweeting out talking about Budapest, and we all know that that's brought up a lot throughout the MCU, so we're finally getting to see what happened there, so that's going to be something really fun to look forward to. The next one that's coming out that I'm the most excited for is Eternals. Eternals has been teased for quite some time now, going out into, with Phase 4 breaching out into the spacious areas in the MCU, literally going into space, and all of the more powerful beings that be, per se, and everything outside of Earth, really. And that's just what's really going to grab me into this movie. And we've got Angelina Jolie and Richard Madden along a huge cast for this movie that's going to be absolutely amazing, at least I'm hoping for, because the Eternals is something I've been looking forward to for so long, and that's scheduled for November 6th of 2020. Super hyped for it, but the list does not stop there, because now we got a big one that I know my roommate was really excited for. We've got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, for those of you who don't know, back in Iron Man 3, we were hinted at the Mandarin, and it turned out he wasn't really the Mandarin, and they just kind of like cut the timeline, and it was completely just trash. No one was happy for it. Everyone kind of like quote-unquote retcons Iron Man 3 just because they don't like how the Mandarin was portrayed, and it really did not give anything to the MCU with Iron Man 3. But now that this is here, we're going to have two actors that I'm not familiar with. We got Simu Liu coming in to play Shang-Chi, and Tony Leung coming in to play the Mandarin, the real Mandarin that we've been waiting for forever. And unfortunately, now we're getting it after they've already killed off Iron Man. So I don't know how they're going to do that and what they're going to do with the story. What they've been saying is that there have been hints of this throughout the entire MCU with the 10 rings, just like obviously we see them in the beginning of the first Iron Man movie, and then it comes back in Iron Man 3. But apparently in specific films, there's hints of it here and there that they've just been hiding away from us, and no one's been searching for that. So now we all have to go back and see if we can find glimpses of the 10 rings and see how it's going to be leading up to this movie. And that is also scheduled for February 12th of 2021. Leading on, we're still not done. We've got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Absolutely hyped for this one. It's been way too long since, the first Doctor Strange movie come out. We've all been waiting for Doctor Strange 2. And of course, this is going to have Benedict Cumberbatch back to play Doctor Strange, but it's also going to involve Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. And this is where it gets interesting, because the Wanda Vision TV series is going to be what plays into Doctor Strange. This is going to be a lead up to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. So we're just going to have magic all over the place. This movie is going to be absolutely nuts. And something I find interesting is that the title, the Multiverse of Madness. Now, the multiverse was already hinted at in Spider-Man Far From Home, but it turned out to just be something fake that Mysterio came up with just to get inside everyone's head after the two snaps had happened. But, I mean, now if they're actually going to go ahead and bring out the multiverse, I mean, go ahead and do it, bring out alternate timelines. And I'm wondering if Elizabeth Olsen is attached to the project, if that's also going to bring Paul Bettany in as Vision to be with them alongside in Doctor Strange. But because of the fact that Elizabeth Olsen is tied to the movie, I wonder if that also means they're going to bring in Paul Bettany to also play Vision yet again, unless something's going to happen to him in WandaVision and we're not going to see him in that movie. I don't know. I'd like to see it. I think Doctor Strange and Vision working together would be a really dynamic duo, to be honest, even with Scarlet Witch in the picture. And that movie is scheduled for May 7th of 2021, and the magic does not stop there. No, we still got much more to go, because now we've got Thor, Love and Thunder, directed yet again by Taika Waititi. So we got him coming back after Thor Ragnarok to do the next Thor installment, with Chris Hemsworth playing Thor once again, Tessa Thompson coming back as Valkyrie, and the shocker to me is that Natalie Portman is coming back to play female Thor. Natalie Portman. That is the only thing I want to hear from now on. Anytime you see Natalie Portman, you're going to have to call her Natalie Portman. All right? There's no ands, ifs, or buts about this conversation. Seeing her come in as female Thor is going to be amazing, especially now that Thor has both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. So if Mjolnir is going to go to Natalie, this is going to be absolutely insane, and who knows what this movie is going to come up with. It's ridiculous, but I like the fact that both Thor Love and Thunder and Thor Ragnarok both have those very retro, like 80s vibes for the title of their movies, like as far as the font and the style goes. I'm really excited for this movie in particular just because out of the original Avengers we got from the very beginning, Thor is the only one that's now going to be continuing on. We're not getting another Captain America, we're not getting another Iron Man. Sure, some of the others are getting their own TV shows, and we finally got a Black Widow movie, but like moving forward in the franchise, this is the first one we're going to get where Thor is going to have his next installment, and that is scheduled for November 5th of 2021. So 2021 is going to be a stacked year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it doesn't even stop there, because after that was the end of the panel. And of course, Kevin Feige had to, he just had to hint at a lot of stuff for us. He came out on stage, he was like, we don't have time to talk about the fact that Guardians 3 is being made, Black Panther 2 is being made, Captain Marvel 2 is being made, and then the crowd was going nuts. And he goes, we didn't even have time to talk about the Fantastic Four. Crowd goes nuts. Or we also didn't have time to talk about the mutants and the X-Men franchise. And again, the crowd goes insane because they're obviously going to start working on it now that they have the Fox buyout. So they have the rights to those characters now, finally. And on top of that, they closed it out with one announcement that I don't think anyone was actually expecting. So he says we're going to leave you guys with one more thing and brings out Mahershala Ali. Some of you might know him recently. As far as the Marvel Universe is concerned, he's been Prowler in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and he's also played Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage Netflix series. He walks out, though, and everyone's like, okay, cool, what's he going to be doing? And he pulls a hat out, puts it on his head, and on the hat reads, Blade. Blade announced for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, coming at some point. There was no dates given, but holy shit, what a way to end a panel, bringing back Blade. Wow. So now it's confirmed that vampires are back in the MCU. What more do you want? So literally just from that alone, like, this is the most insane panel that has ever happened for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think so, just because they announced 16 different projects that they're going to be coming out with between now and 2021 and beyond that, with everything else that didn't have a date attached to it. So I'm super excited. I know some of these dates aren't necessarily set in stone, because I know a lot of those movie dates are probably going to move around a little bit with reshoots and whatnot. But either way, I am not disappointed by this panel whatsoever. They came, they delivered, especially since Warner Brothers wasn't there for their DC panel, so I don't know what's going on there, but Marvel is definitely now in the lead like they weren't already, just bringing us more stories that we absolutely wanted, and now we're going to get, and it's fantastic. I wish they could go more with Hulk, but that's Universal stuff, and they don't have the rights to that yet. It's going to happen eventually. We all know that. But out of everything that happened at Hall H, what are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments down below. Eternals is my personal favorite. That's what I'm most excited for. But what do you think? Do you like the Eternals? You got something else in mind? Leave a comment down below. I want to talk about it. But until we have more updates on any of these shows and any of these movies coming out, and that's going to be another 2 to 3 years worth of content for me, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more movie news videos or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.